Okay, been out here doing a few things today in the greenhouse this evening. And the other day, I bought two of these, see if I say this right, Sansevierias. One is more of a long, skinny leaf, and the other is more of a shorter, broad, darker leaf. But no varieties on them, just in general. They also called mother-in-law's tongue and several other plant names. They were in these little bitty pots, and I think I gave like $5 for them a piece. They were dry. The dirt was like powder. I brought them home, watered them. They've been in them pots, actually in the house for a few days, nearly a week actually, and watered them, and they like nearly doubled in size in the last week. An appreciation to me. So I brought them out here today, took them out of the pots. They were pretty much root bound. There goes the heater kicking off in here. Not keeping it real hot, just enough to not kill some of these plants, maybe around 50, 55. But you see this only has 2 leaves right now. It was a lot more than that on there. And there's the other one there. And what I did is I took and undid the roots on them. That was all root bound. Shook the dirt off since they had been abused already anyway. Wasn't going to hurt much. And that taller one there was actually 2 of them in the pot, plus this little rhizome had kicked over to the side of the pot and was growing up. So I divided them up, put them in some different pots, and that other one didn't have all that going on. It was just one plant, so I put it in that other pot there you see. But what I did is I cut off some of the leaves, several leaves on each one, and then the leaves, now they're in the house, I can't show you, but I've got them in chunks probably about 2 inches long, and they're going to sit there on the counter in the house and cure out, or the ends dry or callus up, whatever you want to call it. And in about a week, probably next weekend, I will start the process of rooting them. I think I've got probably at least a dozen pieces in there, and so they will all hopefully end up being every one of them a new plant. And trimming them will give these, since they were already stressed anyway, we'll give these a head start on turning into some beautiful plants later. So we'll see how that goes. Also today in the greenhouse, I showed this the other day on my other video, but I've been rooting some I got my light on this camera. Let's see if I can turn that off. There we go. Now you can see some of them little rootlets coming out here on the sugar cane, and pretty much all these are doing that, and I showed them the other day. But one of them had a 3rd node, like these rings right here, like that one. Actually, let me see if I can find it. It was, I don't even know which one it was now. Anyway, one of them had a 3rd node that I didn't think was any good when I cut them. I just left it there, but it started the little sprout that is on each node. You can see that. Man, this camera don't want to focus right. Anyway, that little brown bump there. Let's see, one right there by my thumb. Each one of them should sprout out, and that's where a new plant's going to come from. And like this one here, the node is damaged. I'm not sure if anything's going to come of that. Well, we had a 3rd one I let stay above the water, and actually the little node I didn't think was there started growing, and you can't tell much about it, but it is right there. So I just cut off that piece of the sugar cane, since we're experimenting anyway. See, these are some 1 node cuttings here, but they've got a piece of sugar cane with it to provide a feed for the new the growth of the new plant that it should be, that we hope will be. So anyways, I've actually put that one in dirt, and we'll see how that one node will do as an experiment. So that's another thing that happened today. Now, I had my bumper Satsuma mandarin tree has been nearly 2 years now. Has it been that long? Year and a half, 2 years? Probably at least that long. Planted right over about where my finger's pointing. And it has been suffering. These papayas kind of overshadowed it. Plus, the papayas and bananas take a lot more water than the oranges and even than the avocados do. And so the amount of water that they need, that orange tree so close, was kind of drowned in that orange tree, Satsuma. So I dug it up a while ago and I repotted it in this big pot here, and trying to determine if I need to trim it a little bit, but it's already so sparse. Most of the branches have started dying. The root system wasn't real healthy, so I put it in some good soil, put some citrus fertilizer mixed in there, and just kind of lightly watered it in. I didn't soak it, and we're going to see how that tree does. I hate to lose it, but I was slowly losing it where it was. When I bought the tree, it had fruit on it, and it hasn't fruited since, and it should have fruited this year, but it was too stressed out. So I put it in a pot. This coming year, this coming spring and summer, I'll be able to take that outside and let it get some sunshine. Much like my Hamlin orange right there. It was outside this year and it really put on a lot of growth. It's in a similar pot, and these citrus can be put in some pots and stay there for several years. What I did to replace that, and I may have to trim back the papaya leaves a little bit, but I've had this peanut butter fruit tree in ground here for almost 2 years, and it has I've pinched it back, and it's this year, and it started branching out. The other one right there, that's the same thing, has been in this little pot, and I got them at the same time. See the difference? Big difference. So I pulled the orange tree from behind them. What I did is I just went that way. So this peanut butter tree was planted kind of to one side of this little swale down in my greenhouse. And so I went ahead and put that one in ground a while ago, and watered it in a little bit, and went ahead and put some of that citrus fertilizer. I don't know if that's going to help it or not, but it had a really good root system on it inside that bucket. So and it wasn't root bound, it just slow growing, much unlike this one. So we'll see how they go. They're both seed grown, so they could vary. The genetics of seeds, even from the same plant, can vary a little bit from each other, so that could be part of it. But you see how dark and lush these leaves are, and them are lighter. I think being in the pot, that one was having some nutrition deficiencies, and hopefully being in the same ground as this other, it'll change it. So let's see, do we do anything else in here? That's the main things I've done in here today. I showed you a lot of the other. I did move my these pots of pawpaw. I showed in my other video the other day that had I'd gotten from a friend in Louisiana. They had already defoliated for the year, and so I moved them back here on my back wall. It gets a little cooler back here, and they can handle it. They kind of need it, so I just kind of pushed them, lined them up down here. This leaf, and just against this back wall here, get them out of the way of some other stuff up front where the heater is. I can put some other stuff up there, and let these pawpaws. Now in Australia, papayas are called pawpaw, but this is a Semina triloba, I believe is the Latin name for these, and they're the North American pawpaw. Totally different species from the Carica species papaya. And so anyways, let me move this back. I did plant another pineapple there, store-bought pineapple. We twist the tops off of them. I've showed them before, and we had one, and I put it there. The tips were all turning brown, so I trimmed them back real hard, but it shouldn't hurt it none. It should go ahead and take place. So I had moved this tree out of the way while I did that. I'll push it back in place, and moringa tree there, and All right, well, I hope y'all enjoy that. There's always something to do out here, always something to look out for, and something to do. I'm thinking, hopefully by this next year, when I move some of this stuff out of the way, that part of this area here can be taken up by, see if we can see it, this little go fish pond here. I've got two of these preformed. One is over there. They're shaped different. One of them, I'm gonna see which one will fit better right there. I don't think I'll be able to get both of them in here, but anyways, I'm thinking about putting one there, and then that fish aquarium will disappear out of here, so some more plants can actually go here with the go fish pond over here. So anyway, just some thinkings and ramblings, things I'm looking at maybe doing, bringing y'all in on it. The taro is really kicking tail coming up, that I bought at the Asian stores the other day, or a few weeks ago, planted, and they're doing some kind of mushroom growing there, but I'm not scared of them. Mushrooms are good. They help break down the soil and provide beneficial stuff to the soil. So anyways, there we go. Hope y'all enjoy it, and we'll let you know as soon as we're doing more things in the greenhouse. Look at here, some weeding needs to be done. Not sure what got in here. This little agave actually needs to be put in a bigger pot so it'll grow next year. But that right there is a seedling. That is a seedling of that. So we'll get that out in its own pot later. Oh, my daughter did show me today on the string of bananas. I've never seen them bloom. Haven't had a lot of experience with them. See if I can find them. She was showing me flower buds on these things today. Let's see. I'm not good at spotting them on here. Well, she did show them to me. Oh, here, let's see what this is. It's that long little slender thing. There's a little flower bud at the end. Well, there's some right there now that I'm spotting them. See them turn up and shoot up like a stalk. They're little flower buds. There we go. I'm spotting them now. So I've never seen it happen, but it is happening. There we go. Here's, in this tangled up mess, there's a couple of them right here. Well, come here, y'all. So we'll see. I'll make a video when the flowers open, if we can catch that, and show y'all what the flowers look like on the string of bananas. So look at this. This beautiful leaf just opened in the last few days. It's still very soft. My cherimoya. See, it's lighter color than the others. All these baby leaves are growing. Here it is winter time, and the cherimoya is kicking it. All right, God bless. Y'all have a good weekend, and stay warm. It's cool here in Northeast Texas, and hopefully this winter I can do a lot better. God's help and blessings on this little hobby of mine. Keep more stuff alive than I did last year. God bless.